Welcome to this edition of Peak Performers Podcast with your host, Thor Conklin. Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Welcome back to another episode of the Peak Performers Podcast. I'm your host, Thor Conklin. In studio, we have Dylan here, if you're watching on video. And from time to time, we like to answer your questions. Thank you for sending those in. And today we have a question from a viewer. Their question is?
So their question is, they are working with a client of theirs who they feel is interested but isn't very committed. So the question that they basically have is, how committed should I be to my client's success, right? Like if they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and I feel like I'm always trying to track them down and I want to get them to where they want to go, but it doesn't seem like, that's reciprocal. So how committed should I be to my client's success?
Great question. And, this really resonates with me because I feel like I have a responsibility and obligation. When someone pays us and engages us, we're going to get them to their outcome, but we're going to need them to help us along the way. They have to do some of the work, right? That's the majority of the work. We'll give them the structure. We'll tell them the format. We'll hold them accountable. And we'll give them the tools, but at the end of the day, they have to do the work. And, you touched on something, you used the word interested, and then committed as well. And those are not the same word, as you know. Interested is great. Everybody's interested in being wealthy, having a great body, having a great relationship. As a matter of fact, in our engagement, it's one of the last questions that I ask, and it's really interesting. We'll go through, outline everything that we do, and then I'll ask, and I'll just take a moment and just say, are you interested in this? Or are you committed? And it catches them off guard, and they're like, I'm committed. And then I follow that up with another question. And that question is, what are you not willing to do?
Yeah.
And of course, you know what their response is? I'll do anything. And I'm like,
great, I need my toilets cleaned.
Be careful, exactly. Be careful there. Be careful. I had a client once in New York when I was in a different industry, and he was coming to New York, and he said, coming to New York? And I said, what do you want to do? He goes, I'll do anything. I'm like, be careful. You sure you do anything? And he goes, no bungee jumping and no heroin. No, those were his two rules. No heroin and no bungee jumping.
Two pretty good rules if you're going to have
Yes. He left New York City 48 hours later. He goes, the next time I show up to New York, you are going to have a list so long it's going to look like a novel. So, understand what you don't. I digress there. But I do this with prospects that are becoming clients, and I ask them, I said, anything? And a lot of times they're like, yes, I am willing to do anything. I said, okay, I'm writing that down. It is going in your folder. Because what happens is when it gets tough, what happens? A lot of times they go, well, this or that. I said, look, we spoke at 9:15 a.m. on the 23rd of March, and you said you would do anything. Are you a liar? Seriously, those are conversations I have. Well, no, but you don't understand I said, look, you said there was not going to be any excuses. So being committed versus interested are two different things. But I digress a little bit, but understand the difference there. So how committed are you or should be? 100%. We had a situation where a friend of mine used our affiliate link to purchase a program recently. It wasn't my program, but it was something that I was promoting. And she signed up for the program. And I called her. I said, first of all, thank you very much for signing up. And I got to let you know that you're now part of the family. It is my responsibility now to make sure that you're successful in this. This is not an option for you, okay? Right. You trusted me in engaging and buying this product. Now I'm going to make sure that we do everything humanly possible in order to make sure that you follow through and do it. Now, she wasn't purchasing our product. She, didn't have anything to do with that. But I feel like I have an obligation. If I tell you something that this is going to be good for you and you act on that, you need to take responsibility. So I'm going to make sure that Melissa follows through, gets the things done. Matter of fact, I yelled at her the other day.
Really?
Yeah,
she didn't tell me this.
I did. Yeah, I yelled at her the other day. She was spending too much time on the forum. She was just talking about the things, and she was adding some great value. I'm like, stop it. Do the work. Stop talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's easy to do, right? Get caught up in Facebook. It's like, oh, everyone's so supportive and loving here. Great. Get the work done.
Yeah.
And I'll finish this off with the following thought. And we'll actually talk about this program. This is an interesting segue here. You know, there was 275,000 people that signed up for this program, this launch.
Yep.
Huge launch. And out of it was probably seen by millions. So
at least, yeah.
A percentage decided to actually do it. And I always like to equate things to 80-20. Now, I don't know if this is true, if this held true in this particular case, but I always say if you show something, 100 people, 20 people might take action. But here's the thing. That's just people signed up for it. And even before they signed up for it, just a certain number just actually clicked on it.
Yep.
Then an even smaller percentage actually signed up to watch the webinar. A fraction of that actually showed up to the webinar.
Yep.
A fraction of that purchased the product. A fraction of that actually even started the product.
Yep.
A fraction of that actually made it all the way through.
Yep.
And the smallest percentage is going to be the people that actually go all the way through, finish the product, and launch something.
Yep.
So when someone says to me, my employees aren't doing X, Y, and Z, I expect that the majority, and I'm talking 96-4, are not going to do what's necessary.
Right.
Whether it's taking care of their health, taking care of their relationship, taking care of their work, taking care of their finances, whatever it is, I expect that most people, the majority, again, 96%, this is the number that I use internally. So when I see something that's like, oh, nope, they didn't do it. Yep, that's expected. That does not throw me off my game.
Yeah.
I expect the majority not to follow through, not to do it.
Yeah, and if you think about what Thor even just said there, right? If it's 80-20 every single step, right? It's 20% of 20% of 20% of 20% of 20% of 20% of 20%. Yeah. So, of course, it's going to be, it might be 1%. It might be a fraction of 1% who actually, from the beginning have seen the ad or heard about the thing to actually did the whole thing and applied it. I mean, that's the biggest thing too, right? Is that when you're talking about a mastermind, in this case, we're talking about Tony Robbins and Dean Graciosi's mastermind. When you're talking about doing, working out or anything, right? It's not just about going on and going, all right, cool. What's the best workout plan? What's the best food plan that goes with it? Now I got a trainer. Now I got to show up. What's about applying all of those things, right? Like once you get in front of the trainer, you've got to take the food plan that you have, right? And you should be handing it into your trainer, right? I assume that's what you do.
No,
holding you accountable. You don't have to.
I paid him extra, so I don't have to.
There you go. But
he wants the results. If I'm not getting the matter of fact, he said to me, it was interesting the other day. He goes, look, if you're not getting the results, I can't keep you as a client because I can't have anybody destroy my brand by not getting the results. So if you remain fat and out of shape, I can't keep you as a client. He fires clients. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. And that is great accountability. So really at the end of the day, it's all about being able to be accountable, right? It's not just about looking at something or starting something, even finishing something. It's about taking the knowledge, right, that you've read from this book or you have in this online course or that, we did on this mastermind, and then taking that and actually applying it in practice. So if you can do those kind of things, you're going to be successful. If you can't, it's going to be really hard to be successful,
And I want to interject something here too, because make sure you understand and respect and know that the information that you're getting is coming from a reliable source. Because if you start implementing the wrong plan from the wrong people, you're not going to get it done. I mean, going back to the gym thing, it amazes me the amount of out of shape trainers and they have clients. It's like, right. I mean, look at our industry, right? Yeah. Business coaching and consulting, profitability consulting. I mean, there is not an advanced degree or a test that you have to pass in order to claim that you're, a professional or know what you're doing. I spent years and years working with private equity firms, seeing all kinds of diverse industries. I've been doing this coaching for decades. I have a deep psychology background. Psychological. Some people may think that's a problem too, but a psychology background. And wrapping that all together, because I've got to see the patterns and understand and see what they don't see.
Right.
I've got to ask the questions that they don't ask themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then when all that's done, there's got to be a tactical and very strategic plan that is outlined. Yeah, don't judge me on my grammar here today.
He's not coaching your vocabulary.
Oh man, spelling, vocabulary? Nope. I graduated 25th in my class in high school. There were 25 people. True story. Yeah. I was not a good student. I found out that I was dyslexic.
Really?
Like when I was 50, I found out I was dyslexic.
Well, when you're 100 years old, they didn't diagnose that 9 years ago. had to get one in, right?
Boom, jab. Now, where was I? Oh, the strategic plan. You've got to outline a strategic and tactical plan that brings you from your ultimate goal, and it's deconstructed back to today, and you're just working on this week's objectives, next week's objectives, this month's objectives. And a lot of coaches, consultants are real good at giving theory, but they've never run a business. I've run a business for the last 21 years.
Yeah.
It's like, again, it's like going to the dietitian or the trainer that's not in shape.
Yeah.
What are you doing? But they still get clients, which still amazes me. So anyway, if you're struggling and you're not getting the results that you want and you want to get to that next level, send us an email, reach out to Dylan, reach out to myself, info@thorconklin.com.
Absolutely.
We've got masterminds. We've got one-on-one coaching. We've got a lot of different products and services for you. Because if you don't, you're not going to get different results. If you would have, would have already gotten those results.
Right. And just to kind of throw this in there, we still do coaching too. Like we just signed up for ClickFunnels not that long ago. And we're like, we don't know what we're doing here. How do we actually apply this thing? Well, maybe we should get the person who knows what they're doing, who's done ClickFunnels for 4 years, who's making, 5, 6, 7 figures on their funnels to tell us, hey, these are the things that you need to do if you want to have a successful funnel. So it's not us just saying, hey, get a coach. It's us also saying, hey, by the way, as a coaching and, mentoring and mastermind and an entrepreneurial training company, we still get coached too.
Yeah. I've got 4 of them.
Yeah.
Look, I've got a fitness coach that's getting me ready for the show. I've got a dating coach.
There you go.
I mean, I know how to date, but I got a dating coach, right? I want to be the best version of me. I got a stretch coach. I've got a business coach. Do I need another coach? I'm sure I do.
Yeah.
I probably need like a hair coach or something better with my hairdo here.
Might help you with the dating. I know, I really gave it to you this one. But the idea here is, right, like Thor just shared with you guys, if you want to get the best results in whatever it is you do, if you're an investment banker, if you're
shortcut it.
If you're even world-class athletes off of the field, they don't just have the coach on the field, right? They have a coach helping them with their individual things that they want to do. So it's all about seeing the people and understanding who knows what they're doing, like Thor said, reputable sources, and taking that knowledge from them and applying it. Be that 20% of the 20% of the 20% of the 20%.
Yeah. Those are the only ones that win.
So
period.
Well, all right. Thank you guys for listening and being great viewers. We are always thankful to have you guys, and we will see you on the next Peak Performers Podcast.